Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. It's Alyssa Corum and Ken Shreve here with a look at the stock market today. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at ServiceNow, Workday, and Gray Television. But first, let's talk about the major indexes. Small caps leading today, up about 1.4%, while the NASDAQ gained 0.7%. The S&P 500 gained about 0.3%, and the Dow finished about flat. So small caps taking charge in today's session. Yeah,
it wasn't such a great day for small caps yesterday. I think the Russell was down about 1.2%, but a nice rally back today, like you said, up 1.4% at the close. And software stocks doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the NASDAQ today. Had the release of the Fed minutes today. Market really didn't react a whole lot to that. Not much new in the minutes. So I think the market liked that. Another solid day for tech stocks and small caps.
That's right. Closing in on that 8,000 level the NASDAQ is, so we will be keeping track. And software stocks were standouts today, and we want to take a look at ServiceNow, which finished the day up about 2%. So, you know, recently we talked about how we needed to see some of these software names that pulled back to their 50-day lines find that support with conviction. Are we seeing that now with ServiceNow?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good example of what support at the 50-day moving average looks like. You know, we did not, it's been 3 straight up sessions for ServiceNow with below average volume. So we talked last week about, you know, getting support with conviction, and, you know, ServiceNow is firming up at the 50-day moving average. It is showing good action. Volume is light. So again, you know, whenever possible, you want to see heavy volume when a stock finds support.
But a meaningful bounce here. It is now meaningfully above that line instead of hugging it.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
It had been.
Yeah, exactly. So it made a nice move today, and software stocks generally strong across the board, not only in the enterprise software group, but a lot of database firms and pretty broad-based strength.
That's right. Elsewhere in the group, we're seeing some good action for Workday, which finished the day up about 2.3%. It's building the right side of a base. It's about 2% below a potential buy point. Now, Workday was one of the enterprise software firms, one of the few that actually did not go higher on its last quarterly earnings report, but even though it fell after the last earnings, it was able to stay around that 50-day line as it's been building this new base.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great example of what a flat base looks like, just kind of tight sideways trading. It hit a high of 200 and then kind of dipped down to the 180 level, a fairly modest pullback. So the buy point here will be $200.10, but you see a nice rally for Workday today. This is generally regarded as one of the, you know, higher quality names in the software space, but this is definitely a breakout candidate as it looks to break out over that 200 level.
That's right. It's getting closer and closer to the buy point. And elsewhere, we did see a breakout today for Gray Television, which was our stock of the day on Monday. So, you know, this just goes to show, I mean, there's lots of different columns at investors.com. Great way to find stocks for your watch list. We now have Gray Television breaking out with a 5.8% gain in heavy volume today. What about this breakout doesn't look picture perfect to you?
Yeah, I mean, it is a classic breakout. This is another flat base with a 23.45 buy point. Like you mentioned, this was featured Monday in Stock of the Day, and also IBD 50 growth stocks to watch. Both of these columns, you know, we try to find stocks that are setting up, that are actionable. So, you know, we gave people a heads up on Gray Television on Monday, and sure enough, you get a good, solid, heavy volume breakout today. Clearly, the market is optimistic about the company's acquisition of Raycom Media for $3.6 billion. It's really kind of expanding the company's Gray's footprint in television households. So just a good solid breakout for Gray Television today.
Yeah, we're seeing that RS line at a new high, stock closing at the top of its range, heavy volume. at new highs, looking pretty good here.
Yeah, you can see when the stock soared over the $20 level in late February, that was when they reported earnings. It was very stubborn about giving back gains, and that's just what you want to see when a stock makes a huge percentage gain like Gray did in late February. Just kind of sideways movement around the 22 level, and set up nicely for a good bullish breakout today.
That's right. So it looks like it has all the ingredients for a good breakout here. We'll have to see if it can continue its gains.
Well, the thing, we've been talking about the fact that, looking at breakouts now compared to when the market first started to show signs of strength in early January. That's when we got the follow-through day for the S&P 500. So we've seen a lot of breakouts in January, February, March, and now we're still seeing some in April. So that's a good sign, and to see good volume in Gray's breakout today, definitely a positive sign.
Yeah, and as we will soon be testing the old highs, hopefully we'll be getting to that level. We'll have to see how broader market conditions play into these breakouts.
Yeah, I think the bulls should not lose, or at least should not lose sight of the fact that the Nasdaq is very close to a breakout point here, even though it's been a huge rally for the index basically all year, and the same with the S&P 500, very close to a new breakout point.
That's right. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us today. Make sure you're heading to investors.com for all the latest stock news and analysis. And we also will be recording our next episode of the podcast this afternoon, and it's going to drop tomorrow. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. The Investing with IBD podcast. We have a new episode every Thursday, so check out investors.com/podcast for more. And you can also check out all of our content across social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.